Hello guys, good night. So now it's showing 3 a.m. at night today. Day 13. I'm quarantined actually. So I just want to read a book and share the moment with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this video. So about the book tonight is about quite a good book. When the air hit the brains, okay, your brain. So this is by Frank Vertosick Jr. So it's all about the early career, how he entered the neurosurgery world. So I just want to read to get new insight about this minds, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, let's see this. Okay, sorry, my setting is not quite good yet, but this is all I have. My camera stick actually broken because of fall, so I just tied around a new stand. So this is my room. I rent this room near the Kuantan. So there's a lot of recommendation and praise at the beginning of the book. Okay. So contents of the book. Okay, can you see? It's not quite lighting, but okay. Oh, sorry. So the introduction to the context is about 13 topics. 13 topics. First, the rule of the game and the slacker skinner's white cards. Third, thanks for everything. And then a night in the street. And then music of the pain. Element, surgical psychopath. If it was easy, everyone would do it. A bit hard, cheese. Rebecca, nightmares, and love. Okay. Alright. So by Emily Dickinson, surgeons must be very careful when they take their knife. Underneath their fine incision steers the life. The culprit, the life. Okay. I want to read the introduction. It's quite fascinating and quite revealing. Neurosurgery is an arrogant occupation. Okay, astronomers study the stars but never touch them. Particle physicists see caught in the laboratories of their great atoms measure but cannot see the particles themselves. Cannot reach into protons and feel quarks with their fingers. Molecular biology sings the praises of the helix, but the gene is forever an abstraction, invisible to the naked eye. So these scientists must be content with the shadow nature casts upon the instruments and photographic emulsion, but not the neurosurgeon, neuroscientist, for whom the greater mystery of creation resides in a few pounds of greasy flesh and blood. Only the neurosurgeon dare to improve upon 5 billion years of evolution in a few hours. So it's quite revealing introduction. So I already read about half. So now actually I am at the which topic there. So actually I at the topics already at the museum of the pain actually. So I will read about 90 the surgical psychopaths 114. That's I am about not that about half actually. 114. So quite fascinating about the early career of Dr. Frank, how he, the most junior in the department, welcome into the department, into the wards, how they usher him, and yeah, everything has everyone has or anything we have a first time, you know, including neurosurgical. So this is it. It said the trauma experience hardened me to the death, and the pain passions made me cynical about suffering. I feel my personality slipping away during this arduous process of becoming one of them. Actually, neurosurgery is quite arduous and quite demanding rotation or training. So, is it I already ready to give up or surrender everything to this demanding job? Although the pay is not that much, but is it the money or is it my intention to help people? So I ask this question a lot of time. So actually what motivates me to go forward for the surgery is I want to help people. That's all. Because I know money, it doesn't matter when you already in this profession. It's not about money, it's about helping people. So now I read about how the Dr. Frank learned for a case by name Andy. Okay, because the Andy from the beginning, from his conception, and I mean from infancy, this baby, this patient Andy have a problem with a chromosome. Okay, so yeah, life had been unkind to this patient like Andy, you know. So what we do is we try to understand what happened to them and try to help as much as possible. Forty-six chromosome surely determines a person, and she's so delicate. One change it can cause something that we don't want. So we should be grateful actually in our life because our 46 chromosome is quite normal and well functioned compared to this case of Andy. Chromosome 21, trisomy 21 is causing a quite popular case. If you recall, why? Because chromosome or DNA is the, you know, the currency of life. But however, this currency of life won't change. It can cause a lifetime change, you know, lifetime change that will quite directive to the person fate, because trisomy 21 is usually associated with quite complication like mental retardation, you know, a lot of complication, congenital heart defects, okay, leukemia, the hematological problems, and also with the appearance, the abnormal appearance. So this could later on affect this patient, you know. Not much you can do, but Down syndromes, uh, we can help by good facility to help them, good family support, and yeah. The Down syndrome, or well known in medical terms as trisomy 21. Because why we focus on this case of Andy, because he afflicted with multiple head and neck abnormalities, ear canal small, and then misshape, making deaf from birth, and low hairline, wide set eyes, malformed vocal cords. Usually we take for granted all these things in life, you know, unless we know about it. So whoever you are and whatever your profession does, as you are a normal person, you can think, you can, you have a good health, you should be grateful compared to many syndromes, you know. It's not their fault, that's faulty with their chromosomes. It's fate turns this event. So I must say that we must be grateful and use what we are granted by our God or higher power, superior power, to the good of mankind. So the trisomy 21 will have social disadvantage, disabled, so quite difficult for education. Mental retardation is common. Unless it will be hard if you could support at home lah. So for this case, Andy eventually got a job. Wow, at a janitor of church. So that is how community work, you know. Either you have church, mosque, or anything like community. This is can help people like Andy actually to functions and to be in the community as well. Hmm. So about actually the story is about Andy at the late of his age, 40s, working, and then after that complicated with hypertension and smoking problems, and then this patient have retinal hemorrhage complication, retinopathy due to the diabetes, and consequently causing unstable BP, emergency BP actually, and sign of headache, severe headache, sign of something happened to his brain. So the ED called Vertosick to see this patient at ED. No focal deficit but only headache. So they suspect him with hypertensive bleed. And then they sent him by helicopter for emergency. So they stabilize the overshoot BP by Aldermate and Lacey and Decadron. So after that, yep, nitroprusside to keep the blood pressure from below his brain into the next problem. So they try to calming down the blood, but in principle we cannot taking down the blood pressure too fast, because of the effect we causing more severe bleeding after that. So to it needs to stabilize in a very slow fashion way. So for the symptoms, it's not like it's a simple hypertensive. It's more likely due to the suffer by subarachnoid hemorrhage, which we can see always in the case of rupturing cerebral aneurysm, usually secular one. Okay, usually it is a large artery at the base of the brain. Aneurysm is the weakness at the over the wall of the arterial vessels. So when this become weak, it will be outpouching and thin. So it can lead to the problem like rupture because of the high blood pressure. Either asymptomatic, we find incidental, or rupture and rupture or with rupture. So yep, rupture is likely poor prognosis. It's balloon like outgrowth. Okay. Subarachnoid. Why the we call it arachnoid? Arachnoid is a derivative of the spider, you know. So when you see that there is the bleeding at the subarachnoid space, the pattern is like spider, you know, spider. So that's why we call it subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid. There's the space between the brain and the skull. This region is called subarachnoid space because it's below the arachnoid. Okay. So one of the symptoms is thunderclap, you know, thunderclap, headache, vomiting. So the brain, if organs like hands you amputated, you can still survive the hands and can be reattached for quite times, hours. But if the brain's without oxygen, it's about 3 minutes only. After that, you're out. That's why it's always neurosurgery is always emergency. Uh, until proven otherwise. So when you got neurosurgery referral, you need to get to go and see the patient, uh, matching the present presenting history by the referrals and with the with clinical findings. You need to go see patients and also to interview the families, and then from there you decide what to do about in the window time. You need to very fast. So we're talking about aneurysm, most likely that cause SAH, you know. So when this cascade of action when happen bleeding happen can cause at the end of the cascade either paralysis or coma. That's why you need to act very fast, because you want to prevent patient from this very big complication. At least he can function with although minimal function, but at least he can function and he can survive. So at this uh, at this point when patient arrive, you need to give quite uh, to maintain the blood pressure, stabilize it slowly, and then to give morphine to make patient more calm, and to do very fast scan and to move patient to ICU care as soon as possible. And when you done the imaging, you have already something to do, as well as patient already in a quite good environment with uh, with the ICU management. And usually we already start seizure prevention at this point, at phenytoin, IV phenytoin, to reduce, and then also steroid, some steroid, mannitol if needed, but usually we don't start mannitol as soon, only when the scan imaging, only we decide to reduce the brain swelling and inflammation. So they did the angiogram, emergency angiogram afterward. So I think they will choose the clipping. Yep, they will choose the clipping method to reduce the severe aneurysmal hemorrhage. Usually, when this happen, the severe aneurysm hemorrhage happen, the neurosurgeon not much can do, but can prevent it to become further to further bleed, further hemorrhaging by clipping. And this quite microsurgery because you need to make a window in the scar and to go through very complexity, very complex beneath the brain and blood vessels using the microscope, so then dissect the sac and then to put a clip on the neck of the aneurysm, circular aneurysm point, which the feeding brain artery. Once the neck is clipped, okay, so it will be render harmless, quite harmless for the moment, and need to be continue the follow up and continue the ICU care, more to the to prevent patient from further hemorrhage, seizure, to prevent seizure, to prevent the uncontrolled blood pressure. So need to stabilize the blood pressure first. Okay, this is life-saving emergency. It's quite example actually. Actually, it's quite a good example. Aneurysmal hemorrhage clipping actually is life-saving, and it also it's either life-saving or it can cause otherwise, because you try to, you know, to touch the bleeding point, it's either can go out of control or you can control it with clipping. That's the point there. But either way, we still need to do something for the patient. If not, he'll be compromised further. So no, I think that's all for the um for this topic, surgical psychopath. Topic 7. I mean the topic 7. Yes, surgical psychopath is a story about how trisomy 21, the Down syndrome, having complication and then causing having aneurysm. So I hope you enjoy the moment. So I will further to read this book, but quietly. So until next time. Okay. Okay. So until next time, we continue with the next topic.